call to order the Tyrone Planning Commission meeting for July 25th, 2024, and begin by asking for a motion to approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Carries. Next item is approval of minutes from April 25th, 2024. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Approve the minutes, is there a second? Second. Any further issues, questions on the minute? Vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Carries. Moving on next, presentation recognitions. Asked Mr. Scott Biscay to come forward. I'm going to. Scott, we'd like to thank you for what you've done. With a commemoration of service. Commemoration of services. We're exemplified by his exceptional contributions.
Yay! David. Scott, yeah.
For commentary? Yeah, do you want to say a couple?
First of all, it was 6 years.
Oh, 6 years.
That's okay.
I'll get it modified.
Oh, awesome. All right. Oh, fabulous. Thank you very much, guys.
Put him on the timer.
We'll make sure we.
Yeah, set the timer. You got 3 minutes.
Is it 3 minutes or
3
15
minutes.
minutes? It's going to be, it'll be very brief. So I just wanted to first say, it's been an honor and a privilege to serve the town of Tyrone as planning commissioner for approximately the last 6 years. I want to thank Mayor Dial, council, Philip, and staff for the opportunity to serve the town and consider my input as part of the planning commission on town matters that come before us every month. A special thanks to my fellow planning commissioners for their professionalism, camaraderie, friendship, and mostly for putting up with me these last several years as we've been together working. It's truly been a pleasure working with you all. Please know that if there's anything I can do to assist any one of you in the future with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out to me anytime. Consider me a friend for life. Thanks.
You're not moving or anything, right?
I am not moving. I'm in town. If you need your lawn cut or anything like that, I'm here.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
I'm going to get that changed for you.
And then before we proceed, I would also like to welcome Scott's replacement, Mr. Joram Chikundo,
Yeah, that's right.
as our newest member of the Planning Commission.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So now, on to the next item, new business. Consideration to approve a site plan from applicant Brian Selleck for 1.46 acre property at address 1500 Sonoya Road.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The item before you is a site plan application for an approximately 1.46 acre tract at property address 1500 Sonoya Road. The applicant is Mr. Brian Selleck and has submitted an application for a site plan approval of an approximately 10,600 square foot multiflex office, commercial building. The applicant's submission includes a parking plan, bioretention area, and building area. The town's technical review committee has substantively completed our comments and our review, and there are no major outstanding items left on the item. The petition is consistent with the town's comprehensive plan and future development map. The future land use designation for this area is highway commercial, or commercial corridor rather, which encourages high-quality commercial development with higher architectural considerations, particularly for properties within the Highway 74 overlay, within 800 feet of the Highway 74 overlay. This property is not within the overlay. Mr. Selleck has presented to you some architectural renderings. They're conceptual at this point, and I can let him speak a little bit more to those. He is here tonight. But the property is not necessarily located within the overlay, but there are elements of the business park that are. Mr. Selleck has constructed two additional buildings at the front. Those are the brick facade buildings as you come in on the right on Sonoya Road. The business park is growing, and developing. We've got a new building at the end of the cul-de-sac that is wrapping up completion. And then we have three larger buildings that are going up as you go in on the left. Those are under construction. That did go through planning commission and site plan approval for that. We did actually confirm from the owner today that the first building fronting Highway 74 will have I believe it's a Nike youth sports training facility that'll be in that building, which will be cool. It'll be a good addition to the town. Regarding zoning ordinance and impact assessment compatibility, the site plan is consistent with all elements of the zoning ordinance, the erosion control and sedimentation ordinance, and the tree protection ordinance. And the property is zone C2 highway commercial, which this building fits in from a use perspective. Staff does recommend approval of this submission with the condition that all remaining minor TRC comments be resolved.
Not a public hearing, we can move right into. Like to come forward and say anything before we go into discussion? Okay, all right, thank you. Okay. Mr. Commissioners?
Question. Can you see that? Well, it'd be nice, yeah.
Yes, if you'd come up to the podium, please.
I got a microphone, but you don't. This is just a concept of what we're looking at here?
It is, correct. So there are already some changes to that. I'm having my architect work on that right now. The tenant that I have in mind for that building is, I'm giving some freedom for him to choose some of the architectural elements. One of them is, he's not happy with the blue color on that. We're gonna change that to like a medium gray, dark gray, and take the blue off the building. The front rendering, the front elevation, is gonna be painted brick. We haven't picked the color of the brick yet, but my intention is to do like a white brick. There's a building similar to this. It's called, I don't know if it's Joe's Garage, but it's down in the south end of Peachtree City. It's where we got the inspiration from. It's an auto shop. Looks very much like that.
Right off of 74, isn't it?
Yes. Down,
On
it's in that
Moba.
new area that's mostly
Yeah, yeah.
undeveloped.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
If you can do that, that would be helpful, I think.
For the tenant that you have in mind, what kind of business do they intend to run in this?
It's gonna be an automotive business.
Okay.
Automotive repair, which the building next door to this is also an automotive repair shop. It's TriStar. So, but the guy that's gonna rent this from me right now, we're actually custom building this to be an auto repair shop. So we have every intention of having him as the tenant.
Mhm.
Now, one of the differences is, Philip and I talked about this early on. He was uncomfortable with the idea of having a lot of automotive roll-up doors facing that side street, even though TriStars does. So we went ahead and designed the building to eliminate those doors. So this mechanic is gonna drive all his autos that he's working on inside the building. So everything's gonna be done inside. There won't be open roll-up doors. He's actually planning on doing an air-conditioned space, so everything will be closed, everything will be quiet. He's gonna need parking on the outside, but it'll be slightly different take on an automotive,
Good.
shop.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you'll drag it south on 74, keep going. Okay, So do you see that kind of brown undeveloped area right there? Yeah, if you zone in on that, it says Earl's right there.
Yeah.
Earl's Quality Car Care.
Yeah, I do business with those guys. That's a pretty clean building.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked the way that, I've always liked the way that that looked. And so does the tenant. So, in fact, the tenant's been down there to visit that building. Take a look at it. He's got those outside roll-up doors, but we won't be doing that. The building, even though it's over 10,000 square feet, it's only gonna have 3 roll-up doors. 2 in the back that can't be seen, and another one in the back. So really, from street side, you won't see any roll-up doors at all.
Questions for the applicant? Okay. Other questions or comments?
A question for Philip.
Yes.
Philip, I know we had discussed about a change on Powers Way that would kind of maybe partially close that.
Yes, so thank you for bringing that up. I failed to mention that we are, the town is preparing right now a multi-use path connection to Sandy Creek High School. Part of that path connection includes Powers Way. We would go down Powers Way, connect to property we actually own on the other side of the railroad spur that you see on the right side of this map, and connect to Sandy Creek High School. Powers Way, obviously just, it doesn't even do a hammerhead. It just literally dead ends. We would, and Mr. Selleck, we had this conversation about having the existing driveway line up there, and he was okay with not doing a secondary driveway, because we will, after his driveway here, end up kind of closing Powers Way and basically making it just a multi-use path in the middle that'll go to the school. We're not sure which side of the road that path is gonna end up on, up until this point. We're thinking it's probably gonna be on the TriStar side, but we're still in engineering for that. So far, all of the engineering is indicating that we would keep it within the right-of-way. But yeah, this plan is consistent with that, and it works really well with that.
How then is the cart path going across the railroad tracks?
So we would do an at-grade crossing, and the reason for that is because the spur is actually not owned by CSX. It's a privately owned spur owned by the Hobgood family. The quarry has rights to it, but the quarry does not have rail service there any longer. So we would build an at-grade crossing there that would cross over, but we would, of course, have signal installed there in the circumstance that the spur was used, at any point by the quarry in the future, or.
Is it not used at all now, or just?
It's
very
our
rarely?
understanding that it's not used at all. I do think that CSX may be taking some liberties of, storing a few things there, but they actually don't have, it's not a CSX line. It's a private spur.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? For a motion?
Make a motion to approve the site plan for 1.46 acres at address 1500 Sonoy Road with conditions.
Second.
A second.
Further discussion? Vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on to staff comments.
Just a couple of small development updates to keep you guys aware. Some town projects first. So obviously the multi-use path up near Spezzano's and Partners Pizza is mostly complete. We're really just looking to, the underground electrical was done today. We'll be installing a new street light and rapid flashing beacon for pedestrians crossing there. That'll be the electrical installation that's gonna go there. It's then then landscaping and some small touch-up striping that remains to be done. So that's how that project is going. The end date for that project is August 13th, so all of that will be wrapped up really in the next couple of weeks. We are about to publish an RFP for a multi-use pavilion to go in the park. This has been talked about as a part of the master park plan and the downtown master plan and things like that. That RFP is set to release next Wednesday, and we'll go through the selection process for a design-build firm for that pavilion. It'll be a timber frame pavilion that'll go on the park. You will likely just in the course of, it's not required, but we'll probably bring that to you just for your, to take a look at that and have any commentary once we get to the site plan stage. And then also, we're building a new public works utility barn at Handley Park. And the purpose for that is we're actually moving where they are behind the old PD over to Handley Park. It'll be a much larger facility. It'll handle the new equipment that we've been purchasing and things of that nature, and it will consolidate all their operations there as well. That site plan is currently under review by staff. Again, not a requirement that it come before you, but I'll probably give you guys a copy of that to look at, and if you have any thoughts or comments. It won't be an official vote or anything like that, but I will kind of bring that before you guys to take a look at that. Those are kind of the town projects that are underway and in the works. We anticipate starting a multi-use trail project going from along the exit ramp of Highway 74 in that area. We're in property acquisition right now, private property, so it'd be outside, obviously, GDOT right-of-way. That would go from Sonoy Road up to Publix. And then we are in the final property acquisition stages for the roundabout. And we hope to have that wrapped up by middle of August as well. Once that's wrapped up, we'll actually be publishing bids for construction of the roundabout. So we anticipate that construction starting in the next just couple of months. So those are the town projects that are all in, big town projects that are all kind of in motion that I'll kind of continue to update you guys on. Regarding private projects, just Microsoft, they've met with us. We've had some, conversations. They're in obviously their earliest stages of kind of even pre-development. So they're really just kind of working through other projects they have in the region, and they are assessing in greater detail this particular site. And some of the engineering, they're kind of doing some more detailed geotechnical work, things of that nature. I don't anticipate hearing from them on any kind of next steps probably for a few months. So their process is, they're a large company, so their project process is long. I've not heard from East Group, so on the corner of Jenkins Road and Highway 74 in a couple of weeks. They told me that they wanted to get under construction on those buildings by this month. They do have permits pulled, but they actually don't have, they have the construction plans in, but they don't have a final contractor selected. So I think they're having an issue with their bidding and procurement of services for contracting services. So, but that's the stage of where East Group is at. And then I did give you an update on 74 South, which are the buildings that are at the front of the cul-de-sac of Powers Way here, Powers Court. They're under construction. They have building permits, and they're moving along quickly. They do have a contractor. The Take 5 car wash is wrapping up their final items. It's actually been sold, so Take 5 as an overall company, they're actually selling off all of their new facilities that they're constructing. It's under new ownership. They came in for their occupational tax, and I forget what it's going to be titled. I think it's called, it's something space related, the title of the car wash company. But it'll be a car wash. They're in the final, punch list items. They need to finish out their landscaping. And then this new owner will open it under a different brand name. But that's the status of the car wash.
Okay, moving on to commission comments.
Just as a joke, I was going to ask about the post office, but I won't.
We have a huge
There
update,
is an
actually.
update.
Massive update.
Please, tell us.
Okay, so Mayor Dial, it's on our website, so you can go look on our website. In fact, I will pull it up right here so that everybody sees it straight from the horse's mouth. So on July 19th, the mayor got an update from somebody at the post office leadership. So I'll just read it it's kind of small for those in the back. On July 19th, he spoke to USPS headquarters. The following is directly from a message to them. After speaking with facilities officials, I am confirming that the USPS has no current plans to close the Tyrone Post Office. This is headquarters saying this. Our current plan is to inspect the facility at the end of the month to verify that all repairs have been completed to our specifications. Pending the outcome of the inspections, the Postal Service must ensure that the facility is appropriately equipped for retail service and occupancy. This work is anticipated to last through the end of August and potentially the end of September. At that time, we will expect to have better information on a time frame for the facility to resume operations. And they did just sign a renewed 4-year lease on the building. So they are paying for a lease for another 4 years, so that's what we got.
I like the way the government just full speed ahead. I like it. Golly.
September, so probably, maybe by the first
It'd
of
be
the year.
December.
2025.
January 25, maybe.
That's terrible.
Okay, any other commission comments?
Nope.
Hearing none? For a motion for adjournment.
Motion.
We have a motion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned. And that's how it goes.